So then I do some jokes about her. Who gives a f? That's how it is.
Right.
She starts it, I finish it, okay? That's what the f happened. Right. Nobody's picking on this bitch. She started this shit.
Hi everybody, welcome back to our channel. So some of you guys have been asking us about the Chris Rock comedy, I guess, special he did on Netflix. Apparently it was live. I did not see it yet, but I did hear lots of things about it. But yeah, anyways, I found a clip. It's very difficult to find clips that are not copywritten because it happened so quick. This just happened, right? So, but I did find one, and I guess we'll look at that.
Practices selective outrage, because everybody knows what the f happened. Everybody that really knows I had nothing to do with it. I didn't have any entanglements. I did not have any entanglement. And then for people that don't know, and everybody know, Wilson, his wife was her son's friend, okay? Now, I normally would not talk about this shit, but for some reason these put that shit on the internet. I have no idea why two talented people would do something that low down. What the that we all been cheated on. Everybody in here have been cheated on. None of us have ever been interviewed by the person that cheated on us on television. None of us. It's like, hey, I was sucking somebody else's. How did that make you feel?
Right.
Why the f would you do that? She hurt him way more than he hurt me, okay? Okay? Everybody in the world called him. I tried to call him, give him my condolences. He ain't pick up for me. Everybody called that man a bitch. Charlemagne called him a Breakfast Club called him a and The View and The Talk and every rapper and the Drink Champs called him a. Everybody called him a. He called his wife a predator. Everybody called him a. Everybody. And who's he hit? Me. He know he could beat. That is some. I do nothing to this motherfucker. Okay?
Yeah.
His whatever. Years ago, his wife said I should quit the Oscars. I shouldn't host because her man didn't get nominated for Emancipation. The biggest piece of shit ever. Okay? She said he should quit because Will didn't get nominated for Concussion. What the? What the? So then I do some jokes about her. Who gives a f? That's how it is.
Right.
She starts it, I finish it, okay? That's what the f happened. Right. Nobody's picking on this bitch. She started this shit. Nobody was picking on her. Nobody was picking on her. She said, me, a grown-ass man should quit his job because her husband didn't get nominated for Concussion. And then this gives me a concussion, okay? What the f, man? I love Will Smith. My whole life I loved this nigga. I saw him open up for Run DMC at the Nassau Coliseum. These brand new funk. I love this nigga. He made some great movies. I have rooted for Will Smith my whole life. I root for this motherfucker. And now I watch Emancipation just to see him get whooped. Got me rooting for Massa, okay? Hit him again, Massa! Hit him again! You missed the spot, Massa! You missed the spot! And a lot of people go, Chris, how come you didn't do nothing back? How come you didn't do nothing back that night?
Right.
Because I got parents. That's why. Because I was raised. Okay? I got parents.
Yeah.
And you know what my parents taught me? Don't fight in front of white people.
Yo, I can't. I'm gonna watch this later.
I mean, everything he said was facts.
It's all facts.
It's all facts, you know,
Yeah.
because I think like the instant he did it, I really felt like he did it.
The hit slap.
Yeah, like he was doing it because you could tell by the way he walked away.
Yeah.
Like he thought
Oh,
he
it was
was
awful.
really doing something. And I thought to myself, like Chris Rock is like half your size.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is funny because I always thought Chris Rock was tall.
Yeah.
I never thought that. I never
Yeah.
thought he was like small like that. He's like 150 pounds. Like
Yeah,
he's like
he's skinny.
little. You know what I mean? But you know, for a man who has that kind of success and has that kind of attention and not only that, you know, people always want to say, oh well, you know, you're not a role model. You are a role model.
You
The
are.
instant we are.
Yeah.
We have a small platform, but
But-
we have to be responsible
Yeah.
for the things that we say. We're over 40, we're women, we're black women. You cannot just go on here and start
Yeah, acting like a fool.
acting erratic when you
Yeah.
have a responsibility when you get a platform.
We say that all the time too. That everyone has a social responsibility, whether you're on a platform or not, whether you're out and about in life. You have a social responsibility to act right. You know what I mean?
And Chris is right. Like there is being over 40, like he's over 40. You know what I mean? I don't act like I have a mother. I was raised well. You know what I mean? Like my mom. I don't fight people when I'm 40, unless I'm being attacked and I have to defend myself. But otherwise, I haven't gotten in a physical fight since I was a little kid. You know what I mean? You just don't go around fighting people and doing something like that. That's not manly. That's like is what everybody was saying.
Yeah.
So.
But you know the interesting thing is that Will Smith he decided to do this. He did two things that was interesting to me. Is that he decided to hit a man that he knew he could beat.
Yeah.
And he also decided to do it on a major platform where it'd be awkward. So he knew that this man can't beat Will. He knew that Chris Rock, who he was dealing with, right? Because if The Rock was up there, this would be a whole different conversation, right? If Dwayne The Rock Johnson was up there, we're talking. If 50 Cent was up, if we could go ahead and name everybody. If they're up there, it's like he knew he can do this too. So it's like the fact that he also did it on a professional platform where he knew it was going to be awkward. And then Joe Rogan, like he said it the best, like Will Smith, when he did the slap and he walked away, Joe said, look how he walks away. He's walking away like he's on a movie.
Like he's
one of his characters. And I was like, oh my gosh, he's so right. He walked away like he was a character in a movie. Like
A bad actor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like the other day when we were watching the clip of Dwayne Wade and what's his wife?
Gabrielle Union. You guys seen that?
Yeah, I've seen that about their well, not her son. You would think it was, but you know, but she just did her anger and her she's being an actress. And these actors do that. They try to pretend, like Joe Rogan was saying about him, is that they try to pretend, they get into their acting mode and they try to pretend like one of their movies or one of their characters in their movies. And you know, the thing is, like Daniel's right, if this had been like, let's just say it was like Dr. Dre up there making fun of them, or like you said, The Rock, or just somebody like Martin Lawrence, that's small.
Wouldn't do it.
He wouldn't do it because there's something about Chris Rock that he felt has a little bit of class. Yeah. That he wasn't going. He's not what you call like a guy that's going to like get Tupac drive by. Like no one's doing that to Chris Rock. You know what I mean? And so to me, he did that because exactly what he said. You know what I mean? Everybody knows that when they did that table talk, that was a bad move. And I think that ever since he did that, I think he thought that was a bad move on his career. And she made a fool of him. And they continue to make a fool of themselves right after that. You know what I mean? And so everybody was making fun of him. Not everybody was making fun of that red table talk. Not just Chris. And Chris was talking about her hair, not even her. The red table talk.
Right.
And so he is right. I think she hurt him much more than he actually hurt Chris. Yeah. Because Chris is now, this is funny.
And I can't wait to watch it.
And I can't wait to watch the whole thing. I can't wait to watch it later,
but I can't wait to watch it because I just know it's going to be funny. I know it's probably more stuff than just this talk, but it's just like, I don't know what it is, y'all. I'm just really like,
I'm proud of Chris.
Like, I'm so proud of Chris for the way he, first of all, for roasting him on this, because I'm like, I was not like thinking that. I know like the girl in the video was saying that she thought that he didn't come forward because kind of scared to talk about it. I never thought that. I thought Chris was working in the lab back there festering up some jokes, some real you know, cutthroat roast jokes. So I knew he wasn't scared to do it. I think he was just waiting for this, you know, this moment. Because I think everyone's natural reaction, especially if you're like a macho type guy, it would be probably to punch him out, which is why he didn't choose that type of guy.
Right. By the way, if any man is watching and you think, but he probably should have, I agree.
I agree.
Because that to me is self-defense.
Yeah.
If Chris would have
I wouldn't have cared. Yeah.
The fact that he had the presence of mind to know that he's on camera and that he was in front of an audience and that he was talking to millions, that just shows professionalism.
After the slap, if they had gotten to a fight,
I would have been fine.
Would you be like,
no, either way, I think Chris would have been right either way. I mean, because to some people, it is just a reaction. If I slap you, you might slap me back.
Now,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the ending joke there when he was saying that you don't fight around white people, or you don't, we say don't fight around white people, is that what he said? You don't,
yeah, he said his parents said that.
Don't fight around white people. Now, that's funny and everything, but there's truth in what he's saying there. Because, you know, it's not always that black people are always trying to necessarily, not all black people trying to appease white people, but there's this image of black people that is vulgar. This is just the stereotypical image of it, right? We're vulgar, we're loud, and we fight. And we can't control our emotions.
I mean, I don't know if you agree, but I don't know if I would say it even has anything to do with white people. I mean, the world stage. Yeah. Because everybody around the world, we were reading a comment, or you told me you read a comment where some guy from another country said that most people from other countries think of black Americans as arrogant criminals. And, you know, that they always are quick-tempered, and they, black women talk too much, and they just always blame everything on the black, you know what I mean? And so, on a world stage, it's not just white people I'm talking about. I'm talking about how we are as black people anyway. You know what I mean? How we're looked at. Baby mama, baby daddy. You know what I mean? Always fighting, always in trouble. Even when we get money, we don't know how to act. Yep. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's that basketball wives, all these women live in these mansions, they still act like they live on some ghetto neighborhood. You know what I mean? Yeah. It doesn't matter how much money we have, no matter how much status we get, Cardi B, it don't matter. As long as we will always be like that. And that's how I feel like the world sees us. Not Africans, black Americans. Yep. And so for Chris to have the presence of mind to understand that, standing at the Oscars, which is a big stage, because a lot of people watch it, and you know, when that happened, everybody, if you weren't watching the Oscars that day, you watched that. Yeah, you watched that. And so for Chris to understand that he has a responsibility to his race and to even his country in a way, you know what I mean? That this two black men fighting
is not the image that we want,
right? Because
and he wouldn't admit, like Chris is saying, admittedly, he wouldn't have won that fight anyways. Even if they broke out in the fight, he wouldn't have won it. It just would have escalated. It just would have been bad, right?
Like if George Clooney was standing up there, do you think he would run up there and slap George Clooney?
Yeah,
no.
He chose another, but see, this is
he chose the right one. You know what I mean? And that was on purpose. You know what I mean? Because first of all, he was laughing. When you watch that, he was laughing, and then she wasn't.
He noticed that she wasn't,
and so he, like a simp does everything his wife does or asks him to do, and then he makes a fool of himself. He's really not gotten his career. And you know, the NAACP awards, he got an award. For what? For a movie no one's watching.
And he only got that award because the Academy Awards has banned him for 10 years.
Then he did that bogus apology, remember? Yeah, when he set up cameras, and then he had those angles. Everybody's making fun of it because he was like, Chris, I'm embarrassed by the way I treated Chris, and I'm so sorry that I did that. And then he had all those cameras where you could see the side of you. Like, it was literally Hollywood.
Well, he only did that, though, because he was trying to get a feel. He wanted to put that out to get a feel of how people feel about him. He probably knew that it wouldn't go over well, but I'm sure he had some movies set up.
But the feel was that a little too late. You embarrassed. You went out of your way to not to embarrass yourself, but you know, you're a coworker. I mean, a person, a peer. You know what I mean? And a black man. You did that to another black man. Yeah, a black professional man who has kids. I mean, his daughters. That's so embarrassing. For you to do that to a man who you know has children, who are watching their father get slapped on camera. And there, you know what I mean? How that has to, what Chris must be thinking in that moment. I mean, of all the different things. And you know, at first I thought that he wasn't saying anything, not because he was a punk. I thought he was just trying to move on because he didn't want this to be his career. Yeah. Because something like this happens, then it becomes the only thing people remember about you. And I think, you know, Will Smith stole that night from everybody.
Yeah, from everybody.
You know what I mean?
That point on, from everybody.
From everybody. You know what I mean? And so, and he also won an award. You know what I mean? But he stole that moment from Chris. He stole that moment from everybody else who won that night. You know what I mean? And it is sad. You know what I mean? That I mean, look, we just as our people, we gotta get together.
When Chris said, you know, I was the biggest fan of Will Smith. Now I will say this. Me too.
Yeah.
I liked Will. I don't say I all his music and stuff like that, but you know, like he was doing something. You know what I mean? He changed gears. He switched gears and did something. You know what I mean? Did something else. And he's actually a good actor and all that stuff. You know. So I'm always rooting for people to win. You know what I mean? So I was happy to see, like, I liked Will Smith. I thought, you know, he's goofy and all that, but I liked him. You know what I mean? He's different than some of the other people in that realm, you know, at that time. He was daring, you know, he was deciding not to be a thug when being a thug was really, was really cool. So I thought that was interesting enough that he was just doing that and he was taking the hits.
He first slapped. He slapped him. All of these black women were on Will's side because they felt like he was defending a black woman.
Right.
And now that it's all calmed down, now they're all claiming he was messed up. And I was like, no, that's not what you were saying before. No. You know what I mean?
When we did our video on the Will Smith, when this thing first happened, this was a year ago. Can you believe that? This is 1 year ago. But anyways, when that happened, we did a video on it. There were people, women, that were like, no, he's defending her honor, and we were like, no, he was not. This is not a defending anyone's honor. She had, first of all, with Jada, there's no honor to defend.
She's not an honorable.
She's not an honorable woman. You know, men have got to pick the right woman, because if you pick the wrong one, and you weak, she will weaken you. She will weaken you. But yeah, let's know what you think about the. Have you guys seen the whole video, the whole Netflix special? Let us know and how you feel about it. So give us your thoughts, leave some comments below. Please do not forget to like and subscribe to our channel. You guys, please hit the bell. You know, I know a lot of YouTubers are talking about the algorithm problem right now. There is I think Kara made a good point. I think they're wanting to go more towards shorts, like shorter. I think
they're trying to be more like, I was watching this video the other day where they were saying that well, one video was a conservative video, and they were saying that all the conservative contenters are having a hard time, you know, because YouTube is really tough on conservative YouTubers. And then the other guy said that he also feels like YouTube is trying to be more like TikTok. Yeah. Where they're trying to get these little, like, shorts. You know, the shorts, you know, those shorts that you see, that they're trying to get quick content instead of long form. And I know one of the guys the other day that I was watching said, do you guys want me to do shorts only? Or do you want to do long form? And then and he did like a poll, you know those polls you have? Yeah. And I think like 98 said, I want the long form. Well, so see, that's the thing. I think YouTube wants their audience to want shorts. I actually have a theory about that, because I think that they're doing that because you can't, it's like, you can't say all you want to say. Yeah. It's like having those, you know, like when you do Twitter or something, you only have a certain amount of characters. Yeah, 120 so you can't really say what you want to say, but they want you to say it in 90 minutes. Yeah. 90 seconds, sorry. Right. I personally like long form things. I think, I honestly think sometimes our videos are too short. Even with, we try to keep it under 30 minutes. Our 30 minutes, maybe stretching it to 45 if that's, you know, if we're really talking about something that we think is more intense. But we try to keep it around that mark. But I personally, when I'm watching shows, I watch all long form things that go on for 2, 3, 4, sometimes 5 hours. So I watch long form conversations and things. So, but yeah, please don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell. But yeah, so we will see you guys in the next video. Bye.